Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for giving my late husband's estate to a stranger instead of our kids? Well, I'm sure they were completely fine with that. I, female 55, had been married to my husband, male 60, for 20 years before he died. He had 2 kids from a past marriage who were in their early teens when he married me. I had a 7-year-old son from an earlier relationship as well. We didn't have any more kids. I tried to treat my stepchildren as my own, but they never accepted me. They were very rude and insulted me whenever they could. Since I did not work, they called me a gold digger who married their dad only for his money. The truth was my grandparents were quite wealthy and left me a lot of money when they died. I lived well below my means and chose to stay home and raise my daughter since I could afford that. I did not need his money at all, but I didn't bother sharing this with the kids and told him not to either. I did not want them to like me just because they might gain monetarily from me. My husband, on the other hand, hated how they behaved with me. Their blatant disrespect made him not pay for their college tuition. Their mom couldn't pay for it, and they ended up having to take loans for it. They didn't even talk to him. Even when he got cancer, they refused to come see him. For 3 years, we struggled with the treatment. My daughter came to visit from time to time when she could. During this time, the only person who really helped both of us was someone we were not related to at all. This girl in her late 20s waitressed at a cafe we frequented. She was a single mom taking classes at community college at night, working during the day and raising her 2 kids. She took a liking to us, and when she learned my husband was sick, spent whatever time she could visiting him. She has stayed nights at the hospital when I needed a break and basically been the daughter we wished for. When he died, she helped me arrange the funeral. His kids came on the day, and all they wanted to know was about their inheritance. I felt sick. When I learned my husband has left his entire estate to me, whatever is left after settling his bills, and it was around $25,000, I decided to give it to the girl who helped us both so much. She tried to refuse, but I insisted she take it. She needed it, and in my opinion, deserved it more than the ungrateful children. My daughter understands why I did not give it to his children, but is upset I did not give anything to her either. I told her she already had money and a job. Not to mention, she will get my inheritance. This was in no way her money. But his ex-wife and kids are causing havoc over this and really upset with me. They are calling me an asshole for giving away money they deserve. Am I the astronaut? All we know is that the kids treated her like shit and just called her a gold digger, assuming that she was only with him for the money, which wasn't the case at all, but they let their true colors show and continued along that path. Now, here's where the kicker is. It's not like he left money to them. He left the entire estate to her. There was only $25K left after everything was settled, and at that point, legally, it was hers. It was hers to keep. It was hers to give away. It was her decision to make. If the kids had thought about the potential flows of money and who would be making decisions, and if it all had been left to her, wouldn't it be good if they were at least cordial and respectful to her and had not treated her like ass? If they had thought about that, they probably would have acted a little bit differently, but they didn't. They just assumed that they could treat her like shit, their dad would be okay with it, and he'd leave money directly to them. That's what they assumed would happen, because they deserve it. They earned it by coming from him, by being related to him, right? Having an expectation like that, when you don't even take the effort to go see him whenever he's struggling with cancer treatments, like whenever he's sick, at no time were they like, I'm going to water this relationship. They just made an assumption that they were going to get money when he died. And then they showed up at the funeral and they're like, where's my money? That's it. That's all they cared about at all. So 100% not the asshole here at all. I think this is a beautiful thing to have done. I understand the daughter being a little upset, but you're right, and you handled this perfectly, OP. This was in no way, shape, or form her money. Now, she may be looking at it as, well, he left this money to you, so then it was your money, and if I'm getting your inheritance, that should have been added to that. It's not her decision to make. This was your decision to make. And I'm not sure, but I would venture a guess that if your late husband came back and was able to see what you did with what he left behind, he would be tickled with what you did. This one person stepped up. Now, the one caveat to all of this is this potential long play by the waitress, right? Where if she only did what she did because she knew that he had money and she wanted to get in tight, and she knew the story about how the kids were garbage and she saw an opportunity there and that's the only reason she did it, that's a potential story. But she tried to refuse. And the fact that she tried to refuse at least put me at ease about that immediately. And maybe that would be part of the play. I don't know. But the fact that she refused made me feel better about it. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't make OP the asshole. OP had control of the money. It was left to her. And they treated her like shit. So tough shit.